And going. Aloha and good evening. We are here at the Libertarian Party of Hawaii Combined Committee, and we are calling this meeting to order. It is 7:05 Wednesday, April 15th, 2026, and we are called to order. We'll start with the roll call. Everybody who has a vote can chime in like they're voting. You can say present, or you can just say aye when the secretary calls your name.
Austin Martin,
Present.
Selena Monge,
Present.
Nicholas Zehr,
Present.
Ken Schooland,
Present.
Bryce Tone,
Present.
and I'm Aber Green, also
All right.
present.
Excellent. Aber, could you introduce the next item, please?
The next item is minutes from March 11th, 2026. I think we all have those in our inbox.
All right, cool. As being regular order of business does not need to be moved. We can proceed to discussion unless there's an objection. Is there any discussion on the minutes? All right, hearing none. Is there any objection to adopting the minutes as presented? Hearing none, the minutes are adopted without objection. All right, excellent. Under reports, we have our financial and infrastructure working report working draft. That is linked. You can check that out, and we try to keep that updated with our metrics. We definitely could use some help on any of the items in there that you feel like is something that's in your wheelhouse. Feel free to reach out to us if you notice there's something that's not updated or something like that. We have our legislative tracking report working draft and a lot of great news and a lot of things to keep up with there that I think barely any of us actually have the time to fully, go through and sort through. That is happy to answer any questions, and feel free to check those out for yourself. I'll start off with my report. Guys, I'll be really honest. I am trying to find candidates, but my quality filter is set really high. And I hope not too high, but I do think it's reasonable that we expect people to have, a minimum level of both political and professional competency. Truth be told, I'm not the best person to run, in all the sense of that, like there's probably way better people than me that if we can create the right apparatus to support them properly, that we will be able to field real strong good candidates. We need ballot access on the one, and we need to maintain that on the other. We also need to make sure that we're not just throwing anybody at the wall. So in the process of trying to bring people kind of into the candidate fold, I've not had a lot of success in finding high quality candidates. So that is kind of the state of my like front burner fight right now. I feel like I have a lot of signatures lined up, so that will be something that we can do. But as we move forward, we'll be able to kind of just continue to press that from an angle of balancing our need for ballot access against our quality control on that, if you will. Moving forward, I also have had a lot of stuff on the back burner that normally wouldn't be, because of some unusual circumstances up at the high level. So you can definitely read more about that. There is documentation available. And if anybody has any questions about some of the bigger stuff going on, I'm more than happy to answer that. But I will not bore you all with a long report tonight. I think that's all I really have to say. Unless there's any questions, I can hand it to the treasurer. All right, Mr. Zehr, you have the floor.
Aloha and good evening. So balances are higher. So with our CSC, that amount has increased to 4083.78. FEC has remained the same. PayPal, our most recent balance is 541.49. I'll be transferring that at the end of the week to a total of 32.9K. I included in the chat, which I believe should be posted, our recent expenses from the past month. For reporting, the CSC report is still a couple months out. The FEC report is on a quarterly basis during election years. Due 15 April, we submitted this week, so we are on time for the FEC report. Pending any questions, that concludes my brief.
Thank you, Mr. Zehr. That is good. Are there any questions for Mr. Zehr? All right. Hearing none, we can move on. Ms. Secretary, if you could read the next item in the agenda.
Next is discussion on Honolulu and Hawaii county meetings.
All right. Cool. So top priority right now, we want to get people who are meeting in person, and we are willing to kind of accept any ideas. Some of the things that I've had floated to me is, hey, if you guys are willing to reimburse the cost for the pizza, that would go a long way towards getting us to be able to pitch that. I don't know if that's actually going to help. I kind of feel like, like send us a receipt, like send us 10 signups, show us that there's at least, some people there. And something like that might be viable. We kind of already have plans for that and already have plans to reimburse, so it's not really a problem. And that's kind of what I've been just saying, but I'm not seeing any like actual action. So across islands, that's a big priority. A lot of us on the committee are very busy and doing other things, but that would be a really high priority for us, especially those of us who are on the same islands. We should try, at least once a month, to make sure that we prioritize that and put something up there that will allow average people to just know that we're there and be able to reach out to us and get in contact and be aware of it. So, yeah. Anyway, moving
I
forward.
would like to see like maybe aim for once a month type something on, Hawaii Island and Oahu. And if we get some good traction, we can up that if there's interest, or we can keep it at that as just kind of a regular. For Big Island, we'll have to get with Selena on that, and we can either do like Hilo Coffee Mill or the Farmers Market or House of Glory, something like that, or just kind of rotate them out. But we need to kind of be more interpersonal with our network building coming up.
Our candidates will need it.
So,
Our people need it.
so
Sorry,
like
Selena,
an open public invite as like a libertarian party, like potluck or something, or open
meet
chat,
up.
or
Yeah, we can do a kind of a combination, and kind of test the waters and see what works. I know we got some good outside participation with the seminar that we did with Aaron. We could do something similar with Mr. Fogel and probably others as voting season hits better.
yeah, I'm sure Kevin would be down for House of Glory if that's a it's kind of far from me and you guys, but I'm sure he would be more than willing to help.
Yeah, and Hilo's really kind of probably a convenient spot for a lot of other people. So
I was thinking about doing a couple like for each like district, especially where we're running candidates, try to like put it wherever they're at, wherever they need signatures.
yeah, and that's another option too, is we could do the activism packet format and get our judicial immunity cause going, or promote Defend Hawaii here for a little bit longer.
You forgot the word end judicial immunity. We can't call it a judicial immunity.
Yes,
We cannot.
yes. Not promoting judicial immunity. You spoke that.
I'm just teasing you. Thank you, Yeah, no, I agree. So this is just an ongoing discussion.
And anybody who needs help with graphics or getting the word out or whatever, just let me know.
Any other thoughts? Discussion?
No, I like the idea. Solid.
All right. Just so everyone knows, we have the Volunteer Action Hub is our new document for our task list to complete. And anybody who wants to jump in on a task there, let me know if you need help or just go for it. The committee's Google Drive folder has now been created, and that one will give us resources for the various initiatives within the combined committee. And we're still working on the campaign handbook. We have some really great material to work with, but it still needs to be refined and completed. And I think that does it.
Awesome. It's not on the agenda, but I want to kind of a roundtable discussion. This is not like a super formal meeting, obviously. Like we deal with a lot of like practical activism stuff in this, is what it's kind of become. But it's very general purpose and it's very useful for us to have these discussions. One thing that I think would be really cool, is if we start looking, we've been looking at how to use our social media and budgeting for ads and stuff like that. Um, and we've held our powder because we don't want to just uselessly advertise in a way that won't bring in more to the party than what we're putting into it, right? We need to get more value out of that than what we're spending. And the way to do that, in my opinion, one of the ways that I think would be really effective would be to run petitions around our issues and around our legislative initiatives. Generating petitions is useful for us for a variety of reasons in our actual like nitty gritty fights and in influencing decision makers and all of that, right? But more importantly, each one of those becomes a membership lead, somebody who is coming in the door, signing up, giving their email, giving their phone number, giving their name and where they live to us so that we can contact them and bring them into the party. They're saying, yes, we want to, prosecute Fauci, right? Things like that. If they want to, and that's not fair because that's like a YAL petition right now, but there's it's also a Massey petition. There's a whole bunch of people who are doing things like this, and the goal is that you get these people at the point of agreement and this drip comes in and you get a notification that somebody has signed up on your petition. And if you can call them back, especially at that moment, they have already decided, right, to agree with us and to take that important action step. And that is when they are able to be closed. That is the moment where you can call them. And while they're on the phone with you, walk them through the process of signing up at at libertarianhawaii.org, right? This is just kind of a matter of like, hey, do you have a minute? While we're on the phone, can you access your browser? Go check this out. Go to the sign up page, right? And that's how we can convert somebody. What we need is lead generation, and we need a way of sorting that so that we get good quality, high quality leads. And think of it like a sales pipeline. We need to increase our membership, right? And this is a really, really, really good way to do that. And we need, to be able to reach more people and grow our base. We don't need every Tom, Dick, and Harry, but we do want to attract the people who want to contribute to the cause and be able to give them a way to do that. And we built great infrastructure for that over the last 2.5 years. And, now we're at a point where like, it's happening. We're growing. It's coming, right? But we need to start implementing processes that allow that growth to happen in a way that is useful and that is strategic, and that actually will increase not just the nominal membership, but the actual number of people who are coming in and working with us and getting things done, and really bringing our bottom lines up. So my overall proposal here is that with social media, we should approach it from a perspective of getting leads that then we turn around and refine into lists that are actionable and useful to us in our political area. So we're getting lists, we're getting people, and we're getting money from those who sign up. So we're getting all of the resources from politics. So this is a great way to optimize that if we're going to spend money in that area, which I think we should, and we've talked about and even voted to do before, but we've really dragged our feet on how to implement that profitably. Join the LP is a terrible ass sales pitch. Nobody wants to join a contentious partisan faction, right? People who are interested in doing so are honestly not the people who are going to be good at doing the work and relating to the people who are not interested in doing so. And those are the people we need to convince, right? So we have to have a pitch that connects with them, right? Save the Fourth Amendment, end judicial immunity, read into the law. We need to create these slogans that we can use that transmit our ideas effectively, that we can, put out there. And when, especially if it's targeted at like younger folks, we really want to look at like college campuses. We want to look at like, the people in their 20s and 30s that, are politically disenfranchised at this point in time. I really think, especially in their 20s, that there's a really good chance, to be able to shape some people in the coming election cycles who could turn out to do really great things for the party in the future. I'm sorry to take a bunch of time on that, but that was just my thoughts on what I've been cooking at. Yeah, let's open the floor for discussion. If anybody has anything else?
Is there anything you'd like help with on that
The link up with?
immediately?
You mean like with the social media lead generation concept?
Yeah.
I am actively, well, we can already do that with the read into the law. I'm actively revising the judicial code or the judicial immunity one. To also have a same like QR format where people can scan it and open up the form. And I can also apply the same thing to basically any kind of cause you guys want to pick up.
On the other end, what stops us from just pulling the trigger on this? Why haven't I already done so? Main thing is it requires a little bit of planning. To implement this, we need to kind of restructure how we store our data, so that when this comes in, we have a way of getting it to where it needs to go. We may need to write a couple of small custom programs, which I think I can do, and I'm happy to do for free. And what this will do is it will take the data that Facebook sends us from the resort, or better yet, it'll just send it to like, and this is my workflow so far. I'm kind of spitballing, kind of based on what I've already looked at and understand. We have a petition, we'll have it on like, say, Google Forms, right? And they go and fill that out. That goes and populates the information that we need on our end. But we really need to store it and organize it in a way that's useful to us. And then really, we don't want to be doing a bunch of data entry. So it'd be really great if we had some simple like database management tools. And we're not talking like, I don't think we need a full CRM suite for this. I think we can do a lot of this through like sheets, but I do think we should like have a like flow chart of where that goes and how we handle that, so that we're not fumbling it, wasting money on high quality leads that we don't follow up on because we haven't worked out all the technical bugs yet. It'll be a project, but it shouldn't take terribly long if I can crack, if I can just crack a few good, like a good 3 to 5 hours on this, we should have, at least something resembling a pipeline that we can start testing.
Well, we already have the pipelines though.
No, I mean like the full like kind of like a representation of what it will be like when somebody does this from beginning to end for the data. We want to see where it flows and we want to be notified, right? We want to make sure that that's not going, I don't know, maybe the notification doesn't even matter. If we just know to check the sheet every day, that's better than nothing. But it's really cool if you can get that real-time notification, because you have the emotional advantage of them already making the decision. They're already at the point of saying yes.
It wouldn't surprise me if you can set up a form for notifications though.
And the other thing is,
Probably a feature.
this also gives us a way to, we're pre-vetting people. They're interested in this. That doesn't automatically mean they're a libertarian because they want to prosecute Fauci, right? So we do need to call them and kind of shepherd them in and vet them a little bit, and make sure that they're not insane. Basic stuff, standards, professional standards, and such. All that jazz. Nick, I sense you like this idea.
Yeah. I mean, anything that actually brings in some more interaction would be great.
Petitions are useful this way. I don't
Yeah.
think it's a matter of I think we should develop our own system kind of, and I think we should keep it super simple and super cheap. And we shouldn't pay for if we get a big list and we can't manage the shit anymore, then maybe we should get a CRM and upload or do, but let's just make that a batch task, and let's try to save ourselves as much pain on this as possible. And then
At least start somewhere with it, you mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And election season's coming. It's really the perfect time. We can rock that pretty hard, and we should have some good results. Fruit from the tree. But yeah. Any questions? Any thoughts? Cool beans. All right, floor's open. Anybody got any thoughts about general stuff going on? I've kept our LP drama and all that out of it. But if anybody has any questions, yeah, no, I'm happy to. Not a problem.
Hey,
we got work to do.
Yeah. Quick question. For upcoming election, have you seen anything come up on the timeline that we need to do to get ahead of it? Like any forms that need to be submitted or what have you?
Yes. We need to be, if we have anybody who is intending to do a candidacy, we need to contact them and offer to help them form their campaign team. Right? I think that is really, really important. Offer to help them form their campaign team. Even if we don't have, volunteers right in their area or whatever, we can buddy up. We can buddy up with each other. And we can do a really easy, low commitment, 1 or 2 hours a week makes a night and day difference, right? We can do more than that, hopefully, but 1 or 2 hours a week is a very achievable minimum amount that you can ask for, without, no matter how busy somebody is, they can probably find 1 or 2 hours to make some fundraising calls, to make some voter calls, to knock some doors, to do some sign waving, whatever the activity is. And I do think one other thing on our in-person stuff, we really should have an activity going on. So not just, hey, let's meet up for drinks. That's great. And I want that happening. That's better than nothing. Right. But it'd be really great if it's hey, we're going to do pizza and beer and sign making, and we're going to be making Liberty signs and whatnot. And, we're saving money and building materials that are, just some spray paint and some, wooden pallet signs can go a long way, and that can be a good thing. We can recycle. I have a whole bunch of signs from a previous a campaign that was donated, that it would be very easy to just paint them. It's probably way cheaper than having a whole bunch of new ones made. And that's also versatile because it doesn't have to be campaign signs per se, right? So for a grassroots campaign, having those throwaway signs is kind of a useful thing. And just kind of on a side note, my intent, once we get people who are working this way with us, my intent is to structure it, right? And eventually set up, issue campaigns and fundraising vehicles, with our people, and teach them how to do leadership and business and professional, work on stuff like this before we start bringing them fully into the party. And that silos talent and insulates our important operations that will bring in, because we need fundraising, right? And if you look at the Republican or the Democrat, they're not just going around fundraising directly saying give to the Democrat Party, give to the Republican Party. They've got a huge infrastructure built up around of nonprofits and PACs and foundations and whatnot that do a lot of the legwork and take that off of the party's back, or directly donate and fund the party's activities or fund their candidates or whatever, right? That is not an accident. Those are the levers of power that are what allow for party infrastructure to really be controlled or contested. Aber, I see your hand.
As far as the timeline structure goes, there's a timeline that's been thrown into the handbook, campaign handbook draft. And I believe it also blue links to the actual calendar from the .gov site as well. I think our next big deadline is when people have to get their papers in, which is in June.
Okay. Hey, I was thinking maybe with that, kind of building on the momentum from last election cycle with paper candidates. I'll right after this meeting, Abra, I can write like 1 or 2 paragraphs to maybe go in the upcoming newsletter, like kind of what the goal is with the paper candidate concept, like the potential impact, and maybe like kind of an easy way to get started with that.
Excellent.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about with that. So that way, if whenever like we can actually start seeing which regions haven't had anyone submit, that opens it up.
Nice. Thank you.
Yeah.
This is I feel like there's a lot of good stuff. None of this stuff, as far as I can tell, needs a vote. And so, guys, if you're ready to drop off, you can. We can formally adjourn if you guys want, but I don't see any official business coming out of this at this moment. Most of it is just executive action. It just needs us to remember to reach out to each other, or to others on our island, or to our friends, or whoever. And seriously, it can just be a buddy. It doesn't even have to be like, Bryce, I see your hand. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, this isn't going to have anything to do with what's being discussed right now, but I did notice down at the executive committee meeting notice down at the bottom. I'm assuming that that's meant to be Wednesday, April 22nd instead of the 20th.
Oh, did I have my calendar wrong there?
Ooh, let me see. Did you do it again where you skipped a day on your handwritten calendar? Nope, you're right over here. It's the 22nd. He is correct.
Can you look at it is the 22nd. Okay. Sorry about that.
The only reason I spotted it is because the next bylaws meeting is on the 20th. So
Thank you.
Eagle eye.
I really like
Nice.
the idea of like a regular open to the public event that would be like advertised social media or Craigslist or whatever this
Yes.
island would pay attention to. That way people will have a designated spot. Oh, if we didn't make it this month, we know next month or the month after. Let's try and go, and hopefully pull a few people out of the libertarian closet.
I love it. Absolutely. Ken, I see your hand. You are recognized.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that my health condition doesn't really permit me to actively participate in the rest of this meeting. So I think I will sign off for now. I'm so glad to have been catching up on what all you're doing, and I appreciate it. Sorry that
No worries.
okay.
Oh, best wishes, Ken. We hope everything
Thanks a
goes
lot.
well.
Okay,
Feel
thank
better.
you so much.
Feel
Yeah,
better.
bye-bye.
We love you, Ken.
Take
Much
care,
love.
Ken.
Thank you. Glad to know you guys are doing such great stuff.
Thank you. Aloha. I like him. He's a good guy.
I'm gonna motion to adjourn.
Is there a
I'll
second?
I'll
second.
second.
All right, cool. Any objection?
No.
We are adjourned. I will stop the recording.